Opened as the Cottage Hotel in the 1800s, this hotel accommodated the railway travelers through Malvern, Iowa. During the 50s and 70s, the nursing home shut down because of the tiny hallways. It was a nursing home for the mentally ill and disabled until 2005. This hallway is actually where I had my experience, and I only got as far as this bathroom. This is a 2-story house, as you can see. This stairway led up to 2 different hallways, one that zigzagged like this, and another that accommodated a few rooms and this pink bathtub, and along this hallway to the attic. This is my story. So my story is true. We had a daytime investigation at this manor. It is now called Malvern Manor. And this was the last daytime investigation that the owner was doing, just because he wasn't able to be there during the day, blah, blah, blah. So I was with my mom and one of my coworkers from my group, and then 2 of my friends. So the 2 friends stayed for a little while. They just kind of went around with the tour, and then they basically just kind of left. You know, they didn't feel things or anything like that, so they just left. But I'm going to take you through 3 things that actually happened there within our 4-hour span, 5-hour span that we were there. So we were there probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. We set up base camp basically in the kitchen. And if you saw in the little slideshow, those are my pictures that I actually took of this place. It went around the first floor, and then it went and did a couple pictures upstairs. And you could see all of our stuff in the kitchen. The man in the picture, that was his house. He ran things. He didn't like women in the parlor, which is the room that you walk into when you first get there. So we were setting up. I didn't go on tour because I'd been on tour before when I first started investigating, but I didn't like the fact that I knew what happened there and what people's experiences were, because I wanted to have my own experiences and not be swayed by others' stories, you know? So I didn't go on the tour. I'm the only one who didn't. So everybody else knew what was going on in different areas, that kind of thing. So after they get done with the tour, upstairs, downstairs, it took about 45 minutes for that tour. So I was just getting stuff ready. I was just getting batteries put in all of our equipment, you know, getting pictures. That's what I was basically doing. I was just getting pictures of the whole place. So the next thing is that I go upstairs, and I think they're still on the tour. They weren't. The guy had already left. He was going to be back later to like lock up and stuff after we had already gone. So we had the house to ourselves. So it was just the 5 of us. And so I was by myself. I think one of my friends was just walking around. The husband was just walking around. My mom, I think, was just kind of walking around. And then my coworker and my other friend were walking upstairs in the crooked hallway, because it's like a crooked hallway. It literally, like, you know. So I go upstairs and I'm, you know, clicking away, you know, pictures. The stair picture is before I went up there. And as I got to the top of the stairs, I heard, you know, my friends talking. And so I was like, I called out to them down the hallway, because you come up the stairs straight into a hallway, and that pink tub is on your left. There's 2 rooms, and then that hallway, that attic door at the end. I heard them talking, and so I yelled out. I was like, hey, you know, I called my friend's name, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. I still keep snapping pictures, and I'm kind of working my way down the hallway, and I'm still hearing them. I can't make out what they're saying, but it's kind of muffled. And I walk all the way down the hallway, and I had called out one more time, really, really loud, and I yelled his name and nothing. And it just, by the time I got to the last door before the attic door that you saw, there was 2 bedrooms. I stopped at the bedroom doors. I saw that there was nobody in them, and the talking stopped. And so I felt really creeped out. And I walked calmly back to the stairs. And I kind of stood there just looking down the hallway, just a little bit baffled, and, you know, not in the way of, you know, if I got pushed, you know, falling down the stairs. I went to the side of the banister. Yeah, I wasn't going to take any chances. Because up in that area, there were 2 elderly men, and one hated women. There was a rumor of sexual abuse, but there is also paranormal evidence, I guess you could say, that they were actually lovers. So I don't know what the real story is, but just from investigations previous, that there was evidence that they were actually in love and not, you know, the other, so not abused. So the next thing I know, here come my 2 friends around the corner from the other hallway. Because you go up the stairs, the hallway's right there, and then you kind of go around the banister and into the newer wing up on the 2nd floor. And they were in there. So I was a little bit perturbed, to be honest, because I was like, did you not hear me yelling? Because I was literally yelling his name. And he goes, no, I didn't hear anything. And I was like, did you? And I asked my friend, and she's like, no, we didn't hear anything. She goes, I was like, well, were you talking? She goes, we didn't even talk the whole time. We just walked up and down the hallway. And I was like, well, I just heard a whole blown conversation. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but it was just, you know, muffled back and forth, and it sounded like him. So it sounded like a man. And so they went down there, we did an EVP session, got nothing. So, my friends left at this point. I hadn't been into the new wing yet. And if you know, if you go back and look at the picture where it's got the black door at the end of the hall, that darkness is the new wing. And I honestly did not want to go down there, but of course had to. So going down there, you know, being that this place had mental illness, there was a woman who had multiple personalities. There was some that had schizophrenia, some that had Down syndrome, some that were children. One was a child. She had apparently hung herself in the closet. Her name was Inez. She was 13, and not sure the reason why, to be honest, but I think you can just Google it. But there was others that just were elderly people that got left. Nobody came back for them. But there was one guy, and he murdered people. He murdered people, and he was actually down the hallway that I had shown with the bathtub, the white one. And I couldn't go past the bathroom. I was snapping pictures. I was going down with my mom and my coworker, And they were just, you know, just, and I'm like standing there at the nurse's station, because the nurse's station is in the middle. It's a long hallway, right? So the little nurse's station, it's just a little room, right? But everything's open. So you see the hallway down this way and you see the hallway down this way. And when I tell you guys that I did not want to go down this hallway, it was palpable. Like, I was like, my spine was tingling and I just didn't want to go down there. I snapped that one picture and I couldn't even really snap that picture because I just was like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. This is not safe. It's not safe. And so you know, my mind kept telling myself, like, you know, you need to go, you need to run, you need to go, you need to run. And got to the bathroom. It was only halfway down the hallway. The feeling was so overwhelming that I was like wanting to cry. I was like, I told my mom, I can't go any further. I can't do it. I was like, I'm feeling weird. I don't like it. So I basically walked briskly back to the kitchen to take a little break. Well, come to find out, the door at the end of the hall, the room, is where this murderer was. They put him in there because he was I think he was schizophrenic as well. So they put him in there instead of jail. So the nurses every night would, you know, go room to room, and they got to his room and he would chase them down the hallway and down the other hallway, through the commons and into the kitchen. And he would stop at the kitchen door. And then he'd go back to his room and go to sleep. That was their routine every night. So the nurse would go down, scream all the way, get to the kitchen, good. Yeah, so that feeling of like wanting to run and, you know, get back to like safety, which is the kitchen. I didn't know that. They only told me that after I asked what actually happened in this house, you know, on the tour, what was said. And that's what I found out. And I was like, you guys are never going to believe this. I didn't want to go down there. And I never have to this day ever gone down there past that bathroom. So, yeah. And so the last experience that we had there was not actually me. It was my mom. So I was pretty much done for the night. I was done. So I started cleaning up in the kitchen. My coworker was helping me, and my mom was going around the house to pick up all of our equipment. She's like, yeah, I'll go do it. She's at the last place. We just stuck a recorder in the parlor because we didn't really do anything there. She was walking into the little hallway and then into the kitchen, 4 feet, maybe 4 feet, right? All she hears is she's coming through that doorway is boom, 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 literally on the floor, like footsteps, like that. And she whips around, and because it ran up on her, and she whips around. She goes, "Don't you do that!" And you know, she pointed her finger and stuff. She goes, "Don't you do that to me! Don't you scare me like that!" She goes, "I'm just getting out of here. You leave me alone." And of course, I'm just like, my mom. But then my mom comes into the kitchen and she's huffing and puffing, and like, you know, I was like, "Where did you go? Up the stairs or something?" She goes, "No, I was just over there. Something ran up on me." And I was like, "Are you serious?" She goes, "Yeah, I just told it to." I was like, "You said stuff? You had a conversation?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, "I didn't hear anything. My coworker didn't hear anything. We're like literally 3 to 4 feet away from her, and we didn't hear any of it. We didn't hear her talking. We didn't hear anything going on at all. We didn't even know it happened until she told us." And I'm like, that's so weird that we would be so close, because I was right at the door too. Like, I could see the doorway, you know, and I didn't hear anything at all. So that was really weird. She was really freaked out. So we quickly left after that. But yeah, haven't been back since. I haven't been back at night. I'm not sure if I want to be honest, just because it's really scary. It really is. I mean, there's blood left on the wall from whatever. They really don't know. There's not too many records, just that it was built in the 1800s. It used to be called the Cottage Hotel, and then the Cottage Nursing Home or something like that, and then Malvern Manor after that. But he basically, the owner now, he leaves it as it is, and he has people come in at night, and I think you can actually book an investigation if you like. So it's out there. It's like the first thing that pops up on Google when you put in Malvern Manor. So check it out. As little history as there is on it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know Zame did. And I will hopefully be bringing you another episode in another month. And thank you to those who have sent in your stories. I will be saving them for a special episode. So keep sending them in, guys, to my Instagram DM, and I will share at a later date. So thanks, guys. Bye.